mics on. Yes, all good. Okay, so today's stretch class will include a warm-up. So say you went on a run or bike ride or hike, you may not need the first part, but I'm doing the first warm-up section, so in case you just are starting out. Okay, so it's going to be, I'd like to work on the feet today. So I'm going to work from the bottom all the way up. So I have some balls, some therapy balls. You can be tennis ball or golf ball for the feet, that works. So I work on the feet, I want to work on the calves. With a little bit larger ball, I'd like to work on quadriceps. You could also use a foam roller, that's what you have at home. I also have a block available. It could be a big book, that will work. And the reason I got my chair is you can be against the wall, but I'm just going to use it for support when I roll on my feet. Okay, so that's what we got. I also have a strap, may not be necessary, but if you have that available, may work as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Standing. So again, I'm going to do a bit of a warm-up. You may not need this, so if you want to redo the class at some point, you can always skip this. All right, so we're going to start with your feet slightly turned in, little bend in your knees, so soft knees. All right, and we're just going to start with a bit of pelvic tilt. So I'm just going to work at tucking my tailbone in and then back down. All right, so I'm just going to move in and back. Okay, so I'm just going to start a little bit with some lumbar work, so getting some movement into our spine. And then I'm going to do a little bit for hips, feet. Kind of get the body ready here, okay? You can bring your hands on your hips and maybe feel the pelvis moving posteriorly, tailbone in, and then posteriorly back. A couple more time. Anteriorly to the back, posteriorly to the front. And a couple more times here, front and back. Feel a little bit of that low belly active here. And now let's keep the pelvis turned, rotated in a little bit, right? So you feel the low back nice and spacious here. Let's bring the right hand behind your head. Take your left arm to your side. Rotate your palm so it's facing forward. And here we're just gonna side bend to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do 2 more. Just side bending. 1 more. Keeping that little bend in your knees. Come back to center. Switch side. Left hand behind your head. Right arm down. And let's do the same thing. Side bend. Again. Side. Bring it back. Center. Again to the side. And then center to the side. It's like my shirt's not even. Fixing my shirt right from the beginning. All right, here we go. Side bend. Side bend. Last 4, 3. So feel that right side active as you're opening the left side. 2 more. 1 more. Bring it back to center. All right. Shake out the legs a little bit. Take your arms to your side. Straight out in your T. Again, teeny bend in your knees. A little bit of that low belly active. Tilt your tailbone in a little bit. And let's move to the right. And then to the left. A little bit side to side, right and left. Again, to the right and to the left. Lean over, side to side, side to side. And let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's put those 2 together. So you're going to lean to the right, then you're going to side bend, center to the left. Side bend, center to the right, side bend, center to the left, side bend, center to the right, side bend, center to the left, like somebody's pulling you to the side. Again, your hips are not moving, the knees are not moving, there's no shifting here. You stabilize from the hips down as you're moving to lateral flexion. Little translation here of the ribs. 1 more and we're done. Bring it back to center and check it out. Good. All right, from here, let's go ahead and take some marches. So you're gonna bring your right knee up and then your left knee up. Again, right knee, Left knee. Reach your arms to the front. Good. And then again, just knee lift. So marching in place. One knee, the other knee. One knee, other knee. Again. Last 4 coming up. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Let's add rotation. Hands behind your head. Elbow to knee. And twist. And twist. Again, rotate. Rotate. Rotate that spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to center. Release the legs and the arms. All right. So from here, let's go into, so I'm going to go from that direction here. So I'm going to work a bit on the feet. Again, we're going to be rolling on the feet, so I want to make sure they're kind of warmed up. So you're going to lift your toes, and we're just going to walk front, back. Okay, and then back. So you walk on your heels. That was a little awkward. Again, so we're actually turning on the anterior tibialis here. Walk, and then back. By the way, it's the kind of stuff I do before I go for a run. And then go back. Okay, and now come on your toes, so toes down. Lift your heels just an inch or 2, and then staying low, walk forward. And then walk back. Lift your heels are higher, walk forward. On high heels, good, good, good. And then walk it forward and back. All right, we can drop the heels a little bit, walk forward and back. One more time. And then go back. All right, and then release. From here, place you again. So we're gonna go from your heel to your toes. Swing the arms back and lift. Back, rise. Heels to toes. Heels to toes. Sweeping those arms, and we use the arms to help you counterbalance here. 4 more, lift. Last 3. 2 more. And then 1 more. And then check it out. Good. From here, bring your right knee to your chest. So hug it in. Meaning you have to balance on one leg. That's it. Hug the knee to your chest. Step it down. Left knee to chest. Getting a mild stretch in your glutes. And then release. Do it again. Hug that right knee. And then your left. Hug it in, hug it in. And lower all the way down. Good. Let's go ahead and lie down on your back. So we'll do one more thing for the lower body before we start to roll. So we're gonna lie all the way down. And hug your right knee to your chest. Extend your left leg long. Then you're gonna bring your hands behind your right thigh. Try to get your knee stacked right over that hip. So you're supporting the leg here so the hip flexors don't have to work so much. All right, so we're gonna take ankle circles. So we're gonna circle the ankle outward first. So that's 10, let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's reverse it. Just your ankle is turning. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's flex and point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. This is also a really good thing to do before running or hiking. 4 and 5. Hold. And then from here, hug that knee to your chest and switch side. Hug your left knee in, right leg long. Grab behind your thigh and park your knee over your hip, so not too close to your chest here. And let's do the same on the other side. So circle outward. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, circles, other direction. Again, nothing moves but your foot. Rotating at the ankle. Lubricating that ankle joint here. But it also helps to reset the knee area. So right where the bones connect to that knee joint. 3, 2, 1. Let's flex and point. 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Hug your knees to your chest. Roll yourself up and come up to standing. All right, so we're going to start a rolling on the feet. Okay, so today, again, I'll do some kind of activation, and then I'm going to go into some rolling, some stretching, and back and forth, okay? So let's take that ball. Again, any kind of ball works. I like it to have some give to it. So again, I'm just having a chair that's a little low for me, but otherwise you could be at a wall and hold on to the ball. So we're going to start with your right side, and we're going to place that ball right in front of your calcaneus, your heel bone. Okay, so I'm going to go right in front of my heel bone. So the first thing I'm going to do is push down, so just sustain compression. Right, so the other leg obviously helps you stabilize. So pushing straight down to start. And here, keeping the ball of my foot on the ground, I'm just going to move my heel from side to side. It's a little cross friction here. Moving side to side. Okay. Couple more here, side to side. Pause again. Bear down. Think of putting, like sinking down into the ball. And then release. Now, second position. Let's take the ball in the arch, so a little bit higher up, so right in the middle of your foot. Your heel will be on the floor here. And again, I'm just going to push straight down. So I'm just going to take a few moments here to allow my body weight to sink down. Okay? Nice. And deep breath. And then from here, we'll do the same thing. We're going to roll. We're going to add a little movement. So I'm going to rotate my ankle in and then out. All right, so I'm rotating inward and then outward. Again, in and out. So we're also working that mobility at the ankle joint. Right, so you need stability, but also mobility in that ankle joint. Couple more here. One more. Good. So now I'm going to lift my heel. Okay. Barely reach the chair. And here what I'm going to do is imagine that I have like, I don't know, I'm pressing an orange or a lemon. Any citrus. All right, and then I'm just going to swim and rotate side to side. It's either that or I'm crushing a bug. Probably like the orange better analogy. All right, one more. Good, and then release. Now, take the ball underneath your forefoot, okay? Front of your foot. So, you're looking down, you're gonna see the metatarsals, those little bones here before you get to the toes. So I'm gonna push straight down. So again, I'm applying pressure here, sustain compression. Again, my heel's on the ground. And now I'm gonna move my forefoot side to side. Side to side. Twice more, right to left. And then release. Now I'm going to bring the ball underneath my toes. And now I'm going to grip the ball. Like you can pick up the ball from the floor. You don't have to. All right, and I'm going to release. I'm going to do that again. So push, contract, so activate those toe flexors. And then release. And then again. Contract. And then release. One more time. my left heel, and I'm going to stand right on the forefoot. So I'm going to move to make sure the ball is right underneath the forefoot area. And I'm just going to use my heel, my left heel, and I'm going to gently push down. So I'm stretching the extensors of my toes. And now I'm going to start to slide that heel down. Okay, and then again. Now be careful if you have bunions or anything that should not be there. So don't go into that spot. If you have a bunion, I wouldn't go right on it, but you can certainly work around it, okay? So again, I'm going to slide my heel down. Okay, so right on that tissue. One more time. And then release. Good. So from here, shake it out. I'm going to go on the medial arch. So the middle of my arch and right on the inside. So I'm going to do 2 more points here. And this one, I'm just going to bear down, sustain compression. Okay. There you go. Down. And if you'd like here, you can do a little sustained compression here for a few seconds, and you release, and you do it again. So never go to the point that this is really painful. It could be uncomfortable if you're not used to working on your feet, rolling on your feet, but it should never be like an intense pain. Again, mild discomfort, most likely is what it's going to feel like. All right, and other side. So now we're going to go to the lateral edge, okay? So right on that area here, on the lateral part of your foot, kind of right in that mid-foot area. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to hold here. And again, if it's too intense, you can kind of bear down a few seconds. And then release that. And then one more time. So that's why, again, we have something to support ourselves on here. And then release. Last thing, we'll just roll front to back. Okay? So up and down, up and down. From the toes to your heel, heel to your toes. A couple more here. One more. And then release, shake it out. Okay, so before we do the other side, first notice how you're standing on that leg you just worked on, okay? And here, starting with a little bend your knees, I just want you to do a forward bend, okay? So that was the leg I stretched on. So I'm just going to fold forward. Okay, and starting with a little bend in your knees, maybe grab your elbows and dangle. And then start to work your legs towards straightish. And maybe notice how that whole back side of the leg you stretched, or sorry, of the foot that you stretched, how it feels compared with the other side. So although we did roll on our plantar fascia, you can probably notice how it affected the whole kinetic chain, right? So moving all the way up. And then a little bend your knees, roll up. And we'll do the same on the other side, okay? So I'm just gonna take my chair here. Again, I'm just using it for support. And I'm gonna do the same sequence. So we're starting right in front of your calcaneus. So in front in relation to your toes, right? So towards your toes. So right on that heel bone, like you're on a high heel. And again, I'm starting first with a little bit of compression. So I'm just gonna bear down, allow the weight to sink. Nice deep breath. And now I'm going to keep the ball of my foot down. I'm just going to move from side to side. Okay, so like I'm scrubbing out something with my heel. Very nice. And then slowly release. Now take the ball in the arch of your foot. So depending where it feels natural, you can have your heel on the floor or your toes on the floor. I'm gonna keep my toes on the ground for this, for the first part. And again, first straight down. Breathe into it. And now I'm gonna roll my ankle in and out. Roll it in, roll it out. And already you may observe how one side, one foot, feels a little different than the other. A couple more times here. Rotate in, rotate out. One more time. Rotate in, rotate out. Come back to center, push down. And now let's lift your heel and your toes. Okay, and here we're gonna start to twist from right to left. Twist in, twist out. One more, side to side, come back to center. Pause again. Bring the ball underneath the forefoot, right underneath your metatarsals. Now your heel is on the floor. First, push straight down. So you may see the skin becoming a little bit lighter here. Right, as you push straight down. Yep, looks right. Sink into that ball. And then again, we're just going to move from right to left. All right, so here we go. Little cross friction here, right to left. So going right across the metatarsals. One more, side to side. Then bring it back to center. This time, scoot your heel back just a little bit. So now, it's like you're trying to pick up that ball. So again, activate your claws here. And then release. Again, contract. Like you try to pick up that ball. And then release. Spread your toes. Two more. Grab. And release. One more. Grab. And release. Now take the ball again underneath the metatarsals. Step your other foot in front. And here you'll bring that heel on top of that forefoot area. And you decide how much here, right? How much you can take. So you're just going to start to slide that heel down. So along those metatarsals towards your toes. It's really not something we do very often, right? So maybe it's the first time you're doing this. But just know this is healthy for your feet, and the feet affect everything else, really. Okay, a couple more times. Find different areas. One more. Again, if you have a bunion, don't get on it. Good. And then release. All right, check it out a little bit. So now we're gonna get into that medial arch right in the middle of that foot. So you can see about a third of the ball on the inside here. Okay, and all I'm gonna do here is sustain compression. So just bear down, and you can do a little push down and then come out of it. A little push. And then release. And then one more time. Release. Now I'm going to go across, directly across towards the lateral edge of my foot. And same thing, I'm going to push down. Release. Again, bear down. Breathe. And release. One more time. Release. Now, I'm going to roll front to back. And this is a pretty thorough sequence, so it took a little while. I would encourage you to do this pretty regularly. It's really helpful for many, many things. Okay, twice more, front and back, toes to heel, heel to toes, and shake it out. Good. So now we're gonna go back to that forward bend we did before. So you want to stand about hip width apart. You can start with a little bend your knees, fold forward. If you need more support, you can always have hands on the chair. You rub your elbows and check in. Check in with that side that you just rolled on. How does this feel? You can take a little sway here from side to side. All right, and then release, come back to center. Work your legs towards straighter. Firming those quads, roll the crown of the head down. Release your elbows. Little bend your knees. And let's roll up. Good. Let's come onto hands and knees. Okay. So, because we did the feet, I'd like to do a little bit of the calves. So the first thing I will do is without using the ball. So say you don't have a ball or you just want to stay with that stretch, you can do this version. So we'll be on hands and knees. So I'm going to keep this one fairly short so we can get through the other stuff. So I'm going to start with the stretch on my right calf. Okay? So I'm going to walk my hands out, and then I'll bring my left knee behind and on top of my right calf. Then I'm going to drop to my elbows, and then I walk back a little bit, okay? So here I'm going to extend my left leg, and then back up. So that knee that's in your calf, eventually will have a ball in there, but I'm going to bring you into another direction. So say again, you don't have a ball on hand, and you still need to do that calf roll, release. You can do it in this direction. That's start to shift those hips back in space, and then forward. Back, and then forward. And now take your foot, your left foot to the left a little bit more, and then bend and straight. Shift back, and then forward. So the further back with your hips, the deeper sensation right there. And then I'm going to bring my left foot to the right a little more, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bend and extend my knee. I'm going to shift back in space. And maybe observe if you felt more the right foot than your left foot when you were doing the foot rolling. You'll observe if you feel more your calf, right? Because it's very much connected, obviously. Now hold it back. And now we're going to bring that foot from side to side, do the cross friction just like we did with the ball before under their feet. Okay, and then you can slide that knee down and up a few times. Okay, slide it down and up. One more. And then release. Now, curl your toes, take your hips up and back, and take downward facing dog. And check in. I did my right calf. I don't know about you, but if you were releasing the right calf, do you feel your right heel sinking lower than your left? Or do you feel that right calf region, even hamstring, more open? Okay, and then we come back to your knees. And let's do the same on the other side. All right, so here we go. So we're going to walk your hands out. Then I'm going to take my left knee, my right knee, because I did this one already, and I'll place it behind my left calf. All right. And then I'm going to drop my elbows, walk it back. So I'm right at the top of that calf. First thing I'll do is extend my right leg and bend it. And then maybe sort of shift your hips back in space a little bit to the point that you feel this a little more. And this may tell you that you need to do this more often. It's totally the case. I don't do it enough. I'm really glad I got this class going. At least I do it once a week. No, I do it more often, but I should be doing it certainly more often than I am doing it. So always a good reminder, we need it. It's great to do the cardio, it's great to do the strength training, but many of us push the stretch in a corner and we forget about it. Okay, now hold it back, and then let's turn your foot to the right a little bit, and then do the same thing back and forth. So a little bit more on the inside here of that calf. And you're also accessing your soleus a little deeper in there, right below that gastroc. Okay, and then let's bring that foot across now towards your left, so a bit more on the lateral edge. One last. And then come back to center, holding here. And now look cross frictions. You can kind of wag that foot from side to side. And then you can also roll up and down with that knee, up and down. Last one. And then release. Uncross. Let's come back onto hands and knees, down dog, and check in. Check in how the left compares now to the right. Should feel definitely more even. Spread your toes, push the top thighs back, melt your chest, traction your spine. One more breath. And let's drop down to your knees. All right. Face forward. So I'm going to do a very quick abbreviated version of this with your block and a ball. So starting with your right, I'm going to bring my calf, the middle of my calf. Actually, no, I'm lying. I'm going to start with this one because we didn't get to that area much. So we're going to go below your calf. So getting a little bit more of that soleus right at the base here of my lower leg. So I'm not under my Achilles, I'm higher, but not in the belly of my muscle, okay? So different ways you can do this. You could lie down all the way if you have wrist stuff going on. You can keep that foot on the ground, or you can stack that foot over. So this will give you a little more, okay? And the first thing we'll do here, we'll take some ankle circles. So here's that back again. And I'm going to do this short because I could do a whole hour of,
Bonsoir,
of
dit-elle.
feet
Est-ce libre?
and calf. But
Bonjour, dit le vieil homme.
Okay.
Oui,
All right, from here.
ces deux à
Straighten
cette
and
table
bend
sont encore libres.
that right knee. So you can push down,
Elle
so you can
sourit
use that left
et prend place.
leg to give you a little
Voulez-vous
more, and then you'll
déjeuner
turn
avec
your
moi?
leg in, you'll turn it
À
out.
trois, le plaisir est bien plus grand. N'est-ce
Then you
pas
come
trop
back to
tard pour
center.
déjeuner? Et pourquoi à trois?
And then
Ce
slowly
n'est jamais trop
uncross your
tard.
leg, scoot forward now in the
Mademoiselle,
belly of your
trois
calf.
petits déjeuners, s'il
Hold
vous
here.
plaît.
Actively flex that foot,
La nuit
your right
tombe.
foot, and then drop it.
Le jour passe.
Again, actively
Ou bien
flex.
Est-ce la nuit qui
And
passe?
drop.
Et le jour
Couple
qui
more
se
times.
lève?
Flex. Drop it.
Nuit et jour en
One more
même
time.
temps.
Flex.
Le soleil
Drop it.
montre le temps.
Again, bend and straighten.
Pourtant, le soleil n'a pas de temps.
Bend and straight. Turn your leg in and out.
Elle prend deux morceaux de
So
sucre,
in first, go up and down, get in that medial
un dé.
area, and then turn your
Comment
leg
prenez-vous
out,
votre café?
going to that lateral area.
Avec du lait,
Bring it
sans
back to
sucre.
center, bend
Dans
and
ma vie,
straight,
il n'y a que
and
des
shake it out.
douceurs.
Second side, okay? Again, I'm
Je la
doing this really
porte dans mon
short.
cœur et au creux de mes mains.
Could spend a lot more time, but we've already
Ainsi,
done
la chance
the
me
other
sourit
version.
toujours au dé.
So now, going
puisque
back to
c'est
that
ce que
soleus,
c'est
so you're gonna go to that's the belly of my muscle here. I'm
Elle
gonna go
voulait
lower,
être libre.
okay? I'm
Mais
gonna
qui
cross
peut
if I want
apercevoir
more.
les étoiles le
And
jour?
here, I'm gonna circle my ankle,
Le
one
soleil
direction,
brille toujours pour celui qui sait le voir.
and then reverse it,
Êtes-vous un joueur?
all the way around.
Oui, je l'ai toujours été, car la
Good.
vie est
And then
mon
from
jeu.
here, bend and straight. Go up and down, up and down. Turn your leg in,
Et la vie. Ah,
and then turn your leg out.
avez-vous déjà gagné?
Bring it back to
Demande-t-elle.
center. Pause.
Depuis que je sais qui
And
joue avec
scoot
qui,
forward. Take the ball
que
more
demain,
in your calf.
aujourd'hui
Again,
c'est
cross.
hier. Oui,
Now, actively flex
dans
your
ce
foot,
jeu, il n'y a
dorsiflex.
que des gagnants.
And then plantar flex.
Un
again.
jeu sans perdant.
Pull toes in
Tout est
and
emprunté
passively drop. Couple more
qui?
times. Flex.
à celui qui
Drop.
laisse les fleurs
One more
s'épanouir.
time. Flex. Drop. Bend
Est-ce
and
que le
straight.
café est bon demande-t-il. Oui, mais
Now
pourquoi
take your
parliez-vous de
foot
petit déjeuner à
out to
trois?
the side, so
Nous ne sommes que deux à
a
cette
little bit on
table.
the lateral part of that gas drop,
Deux couleurs nous guident,
and then turn your leg
Noir.
in.
et le blanc. Le blanc serait-il le bon et le noir le mauvais?
Bring it back
Ou
to
bien
center.
le noir le bon
Pause
et le
here,
blanc le mauvais?
and
Les deux sont
release.
justes
and check it out.
ou bien
All right,
aucun des deux?
good. So that's off the list.
Bon,
Let's
vous ne
lie
voyez
down.
que deux car vous n'avez
Okay.
que deux yeux jusqu'à
This is
présent.
good stuff. It's hard, obviously, to spend
oui,
that
c'est
much
tout à fait
time
normal.
every single day, but maybe like 5 minutes,
terre est
pick
plate.
something every day.
La terre
Might be
est
really
le
helpful.
centre de
So the
l'univers
first thing you'll do is you'll take your right knee to your chest.
et le couronnement
So now I want
de
to
la
work a little
création.
bit more, obviously, on the
Est-ce
legs,
normal?
the hips. So the first thing we'll do is
Les
hug
jeux
that
sont
right knee
faits.
to your chest. Now we'll take a
Rien ne va
twist.
plus.
We'll bring that right knee over to your left,
La roue se met à tourner.
and then come back to center. Bring that right knee over to the right. Bring it to center, over to your left. So we're just moving side to side here. Over to your right. Last time, go over to your left. This time, hold here. Take your right arm straight out. Right knee out. And right knee down. See if you can start to melt that right shoulder down. And allow the left rib cage to rest heavily. So we're going to do a little bit of hip mobility work here. From here, let's take your left arm straight out. You're going to take the right leg straight. And then you're going to take the right leg down. And then over towards your right. So you're going to sweep it down. Go across, back to where you started. And then again, down and out to the right. Again, up and over. Reach. And to the right. Open. One more time. Over to your left. Out and around to the right. Out and around to the left, right where you started. Hold here. Now you can bend your knee. You can also hold on to that foot with your left hand. So feel that stretch into that IT band, into your glute, into your outer hamstring. And the calf work that we've done before facilitates all this. That straightening of the leg. Now that right shoulder down, but keep your left rib cage heavy onto the ground. One more breath here. Exhaling fully. Bend that right knee and bring it all the way back to center. Hug both knees, straighten your legs. Check in. Left knee to your chest. Hug it in. And now we're going to do the same thing on the side. Right, so no surprises. We'll take that left knee over to your right side, into the twist. Then from here, we'll switch. Hold with your left hand and open that knee to the side. Again, over to your right. And over to your left. Twice more, over to the right. Over to your left. Once more, over to the right. And over to your left. Now, over to your right, hold. And go ahead and take both arms to the side. Straighten that left leg. And now bring the leg down, around towards your left. And again, out to the side, to the right, down and around, to your left. Again, down, over to your right, down, out to the left. Again. So we're moving that femur inside of that hip. Also getting some spinal movement here. One more, I'm going to hold all the way to the side. So you can either grab the lateral edge of your foot, you can grab a strap, or you can go back to just the knee across if this is too intense. So left shoulder melted down, right rib flat on the ground. Push the lateral edge of your right foot into the ground as well. Okay, just hold here for a couple breaths. One more deep inhale. And then exhale and release. Square everything off. Arms to your side. Let's come up into bridge. So lift your hips, tailbone in. And that bridge obviously activates the posterior chain, but it also stretches the front of our hips, the thighs, the shoulders. One more deep breath here. And then lower all the way down. Good. Let's go ahead and roll to the side. Okay, so let's work a little bit on preparation for rolling on our glutes. So I'd like to do a little bit of hip work here. So I'm going to lie down onto the side. Okay, so elbows down. The knees are at 90-degree angle. From here, I'm going to lift my top leg, and I'm going to bring it back into hip extension. I'm going to bring my knee down to the front, up, back, and down. To the front. Two more times. Up, and then back, extending my hip, and then down. One more time. Up, back, down, and to the front. Switch sides. So I'm just doing 4 of these, and we're going to go right into our hip. Release. So lie down, knees 90 degrees, hips are nice and stacked. Use the top hand for support. Bring the knee up, then bring the knee back, down, and back to the front. Up, back, around, and down. 2 more. Up, back, hip extension, squeeze into that glute. Back in, one more time. Up, back, down, and to the front. From here, press on up. And let's get your ball. If you do not have a larger ball, you can use a smaller ball, or you can take a full roller. If you don't have any of the above, maybe work on thread the needle, and then you can add some rotation movement here, getting into those hips. Otherwise, let's get that ball, and let's all start with the right side. So we're going to bring the ball underneath first your sacrum. Okay, so lie down. So I'm just going to do a very quick one here, getting into the hips, and then I want to do a lunge series and get into hamstrings a little bit. Okay, so here, tilt your tailbone in, and then down, just like we did in the very beginning. We were standing, and I had you do posterior tilts and anterior tilts. One more time here. Curl that tail up, engage that low belly, and then down into that back bend. And then come into neutral, little sway of the hips side to side. And then maybe circle one direction, go around. flip the ball to the right of your sacrum. And here, tilt again. Tilt, and then untilt. Same thing. So you're right on the lateral edge of that sacrum, right in that attachment point. For muscles, hold here. Keep a tilt of your tailbone in. Shift your hips left, drop the right hip towards the floor. Glide, drop. Maybe even drop that knee. So let's travel all the way across. Keep the glutes as relaxed as possible. If you clench that glute muscle here, the glute muscles, you'll keep it more superficial. If you can really let go, release the muscles here, the ball will sink a little deeper. Okay, glide, glide, glide. 2 more. 1 more. Now stay on the outside, hold here. Scoot yourself down, so I'm taking the ball higher up in my glute, and I'm taking my right leg out to the right side. I'm gonna lean to the right. You can use a block or simply your upper body here to rest your head on. And I'm gonna push the pinky edge of my foot down into the ground, and I'm releasing it. So if you have like a jean pocket, if you were wearing jeans in the back pocket, that's where you are, upper pocket. All right, so here we go. Push that foot into the ground, and then release. One more time, push, and release. Now let's bring that right leg up. Circle it around and down. Again, back, around, and down. Again. Up, around, and down. One more time here. Up, around, and down. Now hold the leg straight up. Now turn your leg in and out a few times. Lower your leg and continue that. In and out. And lower your leg one more time, closer to the ground, in and out. Now sweep your leg back, again, hip extension, bring it to the front. Sweep it back to the front. Now sweep it back, bend the knee, front, and back. 2 more. 1 more. Now keep that right knee bent. Cross it over your left. Face up. And roll. Side to side. Around. Either stay on the ground or come up. Find any area here that feels restricted, and we're opening it up by massaging. And look for different spots. Anything that's super tender, you can hold. Just like we did that sustained compression, we're using that ball under our feet. You can roll side to side, cross friction, very small movements around. One last here. And then again, find one last spot, breathe into it. And then uncross your leg. Lie down again. Both legs straight, check in. Same onto your left side, so bend your knees, feet down. Take the ball to the left of your sacrum. And we'll start with those tilts. So we're gonna tilt and then untilt the pelvis. Tilt, untilt. One more, tilt and hold. Start to move the hips right, drop your left knee back to center. And again, glide, drop, bring it to center. Twice more, glide, drop, center. Maybe travel down a little bit. Going to the lower glutes now, right above that greater toe cancer on the side. One more. And now pause here. Scoot yourself down. Extend the down leg. And then roll onto the side. So that ball is higher up. Okay, a little bit on the back. You can see your foot. And let's actively push, drive that outer foot into the ground. And then release. Again, drive. Release. Twice more. Push that outer foot into the ground so you're turning on that muscle, that glute med. Pushing out. One more time. Push. And release. Now we can take that leg up, around, and down. Again, up. Tracing an oval with your leg. One more. You're going to hold the leg up. Stay here. Turn your leg in and out. Spin in and out. Lower your leg a bit. Do that again. And lower your leg a little more. In and out. Hold your leg. Sweep it back to hip extension. And then forward. Again. Back to the front. Now back, bend, take it front, sweep it back, bend, front. One more. Now bend your knee, cross it over, face up, and you can stay right there, digging into those glutes, getting into that piriformis that connects right onto your sacrum on the outside, going all the way across. Okay, you can come up if you want more. Alrighty. Okay, good. So let's go next into a little bit of a lunge series. So I'll get you into a spider lunge. We'll do a little bit of pigeon shape stretch. And again, you can always just find one spot. Anything that feels super tender, I would just hold here, breathe into it. Maybe cross friction, little side sway. Find one more spot, one more pass. Okay. Very good. And then uncross the leg. And let's set the ball to its side. There. Okay, let's come back to downward facing dog. Stretch back, check in. We'll take the right leg up. And now step that right foot through between your thumbs. Coming into a lunge. And then heel to your foot out. A little bit so both hands are in the inside. Coming into that lunge here, drop the back knee down. Sinking those hips. And then come up. Again, back knee down. Come up one more time. Now hold here. So keep your toes pointing forward, right hand on your right foot. And here just bring that right knee from side to side. So take it out, and then in, out, center, now out and hold. Let's walk your hands towards your right. Sort of rotate towards the right side. Maybe bring both hands. You can drop to your elbow. And now walking over to your left side. The trailing leg, that left leg is straight back. Same thing, you can drop down onto your right elbow this time. back leg in, turn your back toes at about 30-degree angle. You can take hands on blocks or even on a chair if you need to here. Start to pivot your belly towards the front leg and then fold forward. Coming into a mild hamstring stretch here for that front leg. From here, lift your right heel and set it back down. Lengthen over the leg. Again, lift your right heel off the ground a couple inches. Back down. Maybe 1 inch. One more. Lift. Feel the calf, the hamstring turn on as you do that. And then melt your heel back down. Fold. One more breath here. Come halfway up. Hop back into your lunge. Drop the back knee down. Let's come up. Right hand on your right hip, left arm up. You keep the back toes curled. It helps with balance here. And then externally rotate the left arm. Fingertips on the outside. Hug your right hip in and just side bend over to your right. Just getting a hip flexor stretch here. Bring it back to center, hand down, high lunge, step back, push back, stretch, left leg goes up, step that left foot through between your hands, coming into your high lunge. So pause here. From here, drop the back knee down. And then come up. Back knee down. Up. One more time. Hold it here. Heel toe your foot out. Both hands on the inside of your left foot. Just drop that back knee. And you can bring your hand on top of your left foot. So keeping that toe pointing dead ahead, let's bring the left knee out to the side and then back in. Finding a little bit of external rotation here. One more time. And hold it here. And start to walk your right hand towards your left. Even bring your right elbow down. So rotate towards that left side. And then walk it over towards your right. Left forearm down. And then from here, come back to center. Bring both hands in. Come into a high lunge. And then heel to your left foot back in. Pop your back leg in. Come into pyramid pose. Heels in line, toes out. Start to pivot towards your straight leg and fold forward. And then here we'll lift your left heel off the ground, an inch or so, and set it back down. Do it again. Lift your heel, engage the hamstrings, the calf, set it down. One more time, heel up. Set it down and hold. Fold. And then here, come halfway up. Come back into your lunge. Drop your back knee down. And then rise up. Coming into a low lunge. Again, you might want to keep the back toes curled. Keep that left hip in. Hug it in. Bring the right arm up. And then outer rotation of your arm. Push your heel, palm of your hand up. And a side bend towards your left. Getting a soft stretch here. One more deep breath. Lean. Drop to your knees. And sit back. Drop. Let's come on up. You may need your strap. Just want to get into one last thing here. So we're going to bend your left knee. Bring that left foot in. Okay, you're going to bring your right knee to your chest. Now you could use a strap here if it's helpful. So I'm just going to bring you into a hamstring stretch from here. So we're going to lift, extend the leg. And we'll finish on our back with a twist. So bend your elbow, bring your leg in. And now bend that knee. And then again, extend. Twice more bend. And then extend. One more, bend, extend and hold, maybe fan your elbows, bring your leg a little closer. One more breath. And then release. We're going to cross that ankle above. Coming into double pigeon, hold here. Root your sits bones. Be sure you flex that foot. Here. From here, keep your left hand on the ground. Bring your left arm up, right arm up. Hold. And then bring your head towards the shoulder.
Listen to the sound.
Keep that shoulder down.
All the lonely people live beneath
now
the
from
ground.
here, let's go ahead and turn your chin
Don't listen
towards
to
your
another.
shoulder.
Just listen to yourself.
Keep space here.
Only
Keep
change
pressing
can
that left
happen.
shoulder.
When you change yourself,
And then back to center. Now tilt your chin up and over
I won't
towards
hide.
the left.
I only want to live my
From
life.
here, come back to center. And then release. Gently fold forward.
Oh,
If this is too much, you can just cross at the shin bones, your right shin bone being in front. One more deep breath here.
I'm the ruler of my
And
world.
exhale. Press on up. Uncross.
Have courage
Straighten your
of
legs.
conviction.
Good. Bend your right knee.
Everything you do,
Left foot flat.
every
Again, grab the
little
strap if
action
it's helpful. Otherwise,
only falls onto
hands
you.
behind the ball of your foot.
I don't want
Extending your legs.
excuses to hear your bitterness. There's far too many people
And then
who
from here,
want
let's
to
bend that
give their
knee.
best.
And then extend.
I won't run,
Again, bend.
I won't hide.
And straight.
I only want to live,
Bend.
to live my
Straight.
life.
Last one, bend. Straight and hold. Maybe bend your elbows slightly. Lift your leg a little higher, closer to your face. Keep lengthening your spine. One more deep breath. And then exhale, release. Bend that knee. Double pigeon. You can cross at the shin bones. This is what I meant. Crossing. Or foot over. Yeah, and we've opened the hips a little bit, so we're just getting into that pigeon shape again. Sitting cross-legged is totally fine. Okay, hand down. Maybe keep the right arm down, left arm to the side. Grab the side of your head and lean over. So here, shoulder. Creating space, so releasing that upper trapezius here. I didn't get to do the rolling on the upper body, but you actually get a little bit of that release through your neck. And now turn your chin towards your shoulder. up. And then back to center. Release the head and fold forward. Sinking deeper into those hips. Couple deep breaths here. One last deep breath in. And then release, come on up. Take both legs straight. Final twist. Bend your right knee, right leg's in front. You can keep the down leg straight, or you can bend both. Take the right hand back, lean back a little bit, take your left arm up. And let's take a twist. You can either hug that knee in or press the outer arm into your outer leg. Root your sits bones, broadening across the collarbones, keeping your back broad as well.
Breathe deep. Deep breath.
Get taller, crown of the head extending.
Deep breath.
And it's turn just the head to look over your left shoulder. And then counter twist. Take your right arm on the inside of your foot, inside of your knee.
Keep breathing till I feel that light shine.
And revolve to your left.
Deep breath. Steady the breath, to steady
Bring
the
it back
mind.
to center.
Keep breathing
And
till I
then
feel that light
stretch
shine.
both legs
Breathe
out.
deep.
Last one.
breath.
Bend your left knee. Take it to the right. You can keep that down leg straight. Or bend both. Sits bones down. Left arm back. Lean back a little bit. Left arm up. Right arm up. And then snuggle
Everything in life revolves
that
around
arm
the one.
inside.
Sorta like the planet in our
Press.
solar system. Take a
Sits
deep
bones
breath.
down. Get
Fill up my
taller
lungs. Draw the
first.
mind back toward the central
Both
sun.
sides
Breathe
waist
deep.
long. Revolve towards your
Deep
left.
Inhale, exhale.
Very lightly
To
resting
release
your
the
left
stress.
fingertips down. Turning your head all the way to the back. Left big toe, inner heel pressing
Breathe in.
down.
I let it
One
seep in
more
through my
deep breath
skin,
here.
absorbed in the force as it begins to spin. My mind turning back toward the one, a
And now
360
keep your body in
degree
the twist. Just turn your
revolution.
head
Breathe
first.
deep breath.
And then
Inhale,
counter
exhale.
twist.
To release
Bring
the
the arm,
stress.
hand on the inside of that
Deep
foot.
breath.
And then come back to center. Both legs nice and
In this modern
straight.
day age of
You have a strap.
misinformation,
And just
too
gently
much
pull forward.
complication over stimulation.
Just finishing with something even
We need to
on
ease the
both
stress of
legs.
the
Draw the
situation.
torso down.
So I focus on my breath, steady concentration.
If you have a block,
Steady the breath,
bring that
steady
block
the mind.
behind your foot and
Keep
then
breathing
grab
till
hold
I
of
feel
your
that
block.
light shine. Breathe deep.
Breathe into the back
Deep breath.
body here. One more deep breath
Steady
in.
the breath, to steady the mind. Take a 5 count breath till I feel that light shine.
And then
Keep
exhale
breathing
and
till I
fold.
feel that light shine. Stay blessed, yo. Deep
Come
breath.
halfway up. And then all the way up. All right. We are done. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully you got some good stretching going. And don't forget about your feet. All right. Thanks, you guys.